This video is going to teach you all of the personal finance knowledge you wish they taught you in school. By the end of this Finance for Teens video, you'll have everything you need to know to get started on your personal finance journey, and you'll be even better with your money in terms of saving, spending, and investing, even than average adults. Essentially, you can do three things with your money. You can spend it, you can save it, or you can invest it. Before you can spend, save, or invest though, you first need to actually have some money. Now, whether that's through your job, a side hustle, or simply from receiving a gift, it doesn't matter. But in the case you do want to make some extra money, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when new videos about side hustles, passive income, and other creative ways of making money come out. New videos are released every Friday, and they'll help you live a life you love through personal finance and self-improvement. Starting with the first category, we have spending money. Essentially, the money you spend is going to fall into two categories: expenses and discretionary spending, also called your disposable income. This is the money that you can do whatever you want with, whether that's going out to eat or saving and investing, like we'll talk about later. Your disposable income is all the money that's left over after paying all of your expenses. As a teenager or young adult, you may not have that many expenses, if any, depending on your age. However, it's important to learn about tracking your expenses and spending so you can practice budgeting before you start to pile up the bills and other necessary payments. First, you'll need to track your spending. This can be done in a spreadsheet like Google Sheets or Excel, or through any popular personal finance apps like Mint. Personally, I use Mint, and you can get started with Mint as well by using my referral code in the description below. List out or discover anything that you pay for on a recurring basis, such as the cost of transportation, car insurance, or even haircuts. Once older, typical expenses will include your rent or mortgage payment, utilities, groceries, and so on. Other things you should count as expenses include any recurring subscriptions, such as to Apple Music or Spotify Premium. While most subscriptions will be entertainment-based, it is important to have fun money in your budget. This way, it'll help you stick to your spending plan by allowing yourself to spend some money on fun things like entertainment or going out with your friends. Once you have all of your monthly expenses listed out, subtract that from how much money you make in a month. This number will be your disposable income that you can use for your discretionary spending. Certain percentages of this amount will be directed toward your savings and your investments, which we will cover later. The rest is essentially going to be your fun money that you can spend how you want. A good budgeting tip is to break out what you spend your money on into different categories. One example would be, say, giving yourself $50 a month for eating out, and then another $50 for miscellaneous shopping. By breaking your budget into different categories and tracking your spending in each section, over time, you'll see if you typically spend more or less than what you budgeted for that category. Then you can adjust accordingly. Now, you've got your categories, but you're not exactly sure how much each should be allowed, since we haven't yet figured out how much of that discretionary income should go toward saving and then toward investing. Let's start with saving. Since you likely don't have very many expenses right now, saving is not going to be as important currently than it will be in the future. A good rule of thumb is to start by establishing an emergency fund that will cover 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. How many months your emergency fund can cover is really up to your personal risk tolerance. If you have a lot of financial support and or you're confident that you can continue to meet your expenses month to month, then 3 months will make sense for you. On the other hand, if you have less financial support or an unsteady stream of income, then a 6-month emergency fund will make sense for you. So what percent of your budget should go towards saving to build up your emergency fund? The best way is to ask yourself, in how much time do I want to be finished building this fund? From there, you can then say, well, I want to be done in a year. So if I divide how much my emergency fund is by 12, I'll know how much money I need to save every month to be saved up by the end of a year. You can do the same thing over a long or a shorter period of time. Also, in terms of savings, let's think about larger one-off purchases. These will be things like vacations, down payments on cars, or other non-recurring purchases that you make beyond your allotted budget. It will be easy to apply the same logic as you did before. If you have a get-together with your friends coming up in 6 months, you can simply divide how much money you'd like to bring with you for the trip and divide by 6 to figure out how much you'd need to save in order to have that amount ready with you for the trip. Beyond setting up your emergency fund and stashing away a little money here and there to save up for large purchases, you may only want to save a small percentage of your money each month, since investing while young will be more important, which we'll discuss soon. A last piece of advice about saving: you should look into high-yield saving accounts, which will likely net you a higher interest rate and thus more money than your current bank account. I personally use Ally Bank, which has a 0.5% interest rate compared to the national average of 0.06% for savings accounts. Please consult with your parent or guardian if you're under the age of 18, and please also research your chosen financial institution to know about any potential fees, minimum balances, or other potential benefits or restrictions. You should also research the like button by clicking it to share this great information with others on YouTube. It supports the growth of this channel with a simple 2-second investment. Speaking of, let's talk about investing. When we talk about investing, we'll actually be talking about two different things: investing your money and then investing in yourself. Conveniently, those are also the topics of this channel. Investing in yourself is primarily tied to your education, namely completing high school and then making the choice about whether to pursue college, a trade, or going directly into finding some type of work or starting your own business. All are viable routes, though they will all incur costs and have different pros and cons. Let's work our way up backwards. First, you can start a business. This is easier than ever due to the internet, but it is incredibly hard to find success. The majority of startups and small businesses fail in the United States very quickly after they're formed as well. While you'll be able to work for yourself, starting a business out of high school may be even more challenging than normal due to the knowledge, skills, experience, and expertise necessary to run a functioning business that you probably won't have. Pursuing side hustles while following one of the next options may be more suited for you. Next, there's immediately going to work. Depending on what you want to do, this isn't a bad idea. While many entry levels now require college degrees, others do not. Another alternative may be pursuing some type of professional certification, such as a real estate license outside of school while working within the industry. While working will provide you with money and a capital sooner, your overall earnings potential may be lower, depending on the field versus your peers who went to college, or who learned a trade. Speaking of, trades are valuable skills that are highly in demand, and are a great alternative to building a career outside of a formal education. In fact, trade skills such as welding, electrical work, and plumbing are only increasing in demand, since going to college is seen as the norm in America. This increase in demand likely means that there will only be an increase in how the trades pay as current workers retire, thus lowering the amount of available labor. Finally, on to college. We know college is expensive, and it's only getting more expensive. This is why it's really important to note that if you plan on going to college, you should first be very certain about what program and field you're entering into. Next, you need to know the costs and earnings potential of your selected degree and program. Once you're locked onto that program and you have different career options lined up, you need to take advantage of every opportunity available to you at your school in order to propel you toward those careers. Speaking as a guy who graduated college with 4 majors, I can guarantee you that some of that extra work will be worth it to differentiate you not just from your peers, but from every other college graduate in America that year. Specifically, I would recommend pursuing internships as much and as early as possible, attending all the networking events you can, joining any clubs related or tangential to your chosen field, considering extra majors or minors if possible, seeking leadership positions on your campus, and finally completing any additional certificate or award programs available. College will likely cost you a lot of money, but over time, it should yield you with more job opportunities and a higher earning potential. While debt, in this case student loan debt, and your credit score will likely get their own videos in the future. My advice can be summarized as making minimum payments on student loan debt and investing any extra money rather than putting that toward your loan principal. The idea behind this advice is twofold. Number one, if you can invest your money and earn a higher rate of return than the interest rate on your student debt, it will actually cost you money over time to pay down your loan principal rather than invest that money. Number two, the age of your credit history and number of open credit accounts are both factors which affect your credit score. That's how credible lenders see you when evaluating whether to loan you money or not and how much it's going to cost you to take that loan. Paying off loans quickly will both shrink the average age of your credit history and decrease the number of total accounts you have open, thus technically negatively impacting your credit score. Let's talk about the most important thing you can do with your money, especially while young: investing. There's a hugely valuable piece of information you need to know called the time value of money. In short, the more time that your money has to grow, the more it will grow and the faster that growth will get over time. The quicker you can have a lot of money invested, the sooner that money will balloon into huge amounts, building your wealth and making you rich. If you want more advice on getting started, click the card up here to watch my recent video about investing for beginners. In terms of a percentage for your budget, I would simply invest any money you have left over after saving, your budget, and expenses. One of the best options for investing is by opening a Roth IRA if you have earned income, that is, money that you pay taxes on. If you're under 18, ask your parent or guardian to set up a custodial Roth IRA in your name. That way, you'll be able to contribute up to $6,000 of earned income per year to start investing in your future. Comment below with any questions I can help answer to get you started on your personal finance journey. Make sure to like the video if you learned something valuable, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when new videos about personal finance and self-improvement come out every Friday. My Mint referral and social media links are in the description below, including my TikTok about eBay reselling. Click the video on screen to watch another that you're going to enjoy, and please add some music at the beginning of your personal finance journey or whatever else it is that you love to your day. Add some music, just add some music to your day.